Aloha.
Talofa.
All right, so we are back. We are looking at this is Jordan and Malama. We are looking at inside Chinese kindergartens. What these Chinese kids will do, or what these Chinese kids do, will amaze you. So this is the difference in Chinese kindergartens, and well, it's not the difference. It's showing you Chinese kindergartens, and you already know American kindergartens.
So I'm walking around the mall here in China, and I stumble upon this place.
So if you're a parent that wants to go shopping in one of these massive malls but don't want to lug your kids around, you leave them here at an indoor play area. But this is no McDonald's play place where your kids go down slides and climb up ladders. In China, instead of pretending to drive a supercar, they give you a bucket, mop, waterproof coat and shoes, and they get you scrubbing. And I think it's actually a really interesting cultural difference because, you know, we in the West, we focus on much more open-ended, imaginative play. While in China, you actually see a lot more task-based, hands-on, tactile play. I don't think either one is superior, but it definitely can develop different skills. The question is, what do you guys think about this?
So it's not kindergarten, but that's the mall. Here comes the kindergarten. Oh, I guess this is more
I
mall.
think kindergarten is just about playtime. Think again. In China, kids are solving problems, working in teams, and learning skills that'll blow your mind. Watch as these adorable little geniuses show us how task-based learning is shaping the future. Is this the secret to success? Let's find
This
out.
right here is the classroom that Chinese kids go gaga
There you
for.
go.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting their hands dirty, chopping veggies, cooking up a storm, nailing every move like they're top-notch chefs straight out of Michelin. Say goodbye to indoor setups because we've taken the classroom outside. Under the guidance of teachers, these kiddos
Child
aren't just
labor, I
mastering
like it.
veggie planting. They're also taking tender care
Life
of little
lessons.
critters, threading
Yes.
needles like pros, and showcasing the essence of arts and crafts. Compared to snooze-worthy textbooks, diving into these practical life skills is lighting a fire under their learning game. Parents are all aboard too, rallying behind this curriculum wave, making this kindergarten rake in the dough. The popularity of these kinds of kindergartens in China isn't by chance. It's rooted in years of educational woes. Parents are over the stress of test-driven education. They want their munchkins to grow up happy, living their best healthy lives. They believe the future of China.
So I was going to say, when you said child labor, I know you're joking, but back home in the Samoan society, that's how we raise our kids, right? From little, whether it's going to the mountains to get the coconuts and, you know, get the food, they'll take the kids and have them go out and do chores at a very young age. And that teaches them life skills, right? I think we talked about this before, the difference between in classroom, learning things from in the classroom versus actually being out in real life and
Doing it,
yeah, you know, like it gives them a different perspective, right? Because you can read about like farming, how they were had to, or you can have the kids out there and actually know what a hard day's work is like.
Right, like go up and pick the coconuts or pull up.
Yeah,
Whatever,
the taro,
taro.
right? And then plant banana trees, right? Get the bananas and then plant a tree. So
And
that
splitting
they
the banana
know.
trees and things
Yes,
like that.
Right. So they
But-
know.
So like we used to do that in America back in the day, right? We used to have farms and stuff, but then we got to where we wanted to stop doing things for whatever reason. Like we wanted to stop hard labor. That was like the goal, right? Like,
Yes.
And so, I mean, now we're like, we want to be more bookish and more computery. But then
That
we
is
stopped
true.
doing that. We don't even teach our kids no more. And now we
Yes,
got
that
like the
is
worst
true.
schools. We stopped doing hard labor and went to like brain work
Yeah.
and stopped teaching kids now. And we don't even do the brain work that good.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, and I think it got lost somewhere too, because this happened to Samoan people too, is that, and I noticed this, I think with Filipinos too, but it's like we come from hard work, labor-ish type of things, jobs or other things, but then you want to make life easier for your kids or something, you know, so they don't want them out there. I think that's, you know, where the disconnect came, right? They're like, okay, no, I didn't have this when I was a kid, so I'm gonna spoil my kids with it and give them, right? You know, it's like I had to go out in the sun and do all that. I don't want them doing all that, you
Right,
know.
you got to learn the
So I
balance
think-
of hard work and,
Yes.
and brain work or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. Or hard work and luxury, not luxury time, relaxation time.
Relaxation. Yes, but I think that's
Or
where
leisure time.
leisure. But I think that's where that disconnect came to, where then kids started feeling privileged, right? They think, oh, I am owed this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah.
China should be a place where kids can chase their dreams freely, chasing happiness and achievements.
Here are 4 reasons why you need to use the new ad block
And then, oops.
Do you know what Chinese kindergartens are like? While kids in other kindergartens eat, sleep, and play games, kids in this Chinese kindergarten do laundry and cook, learning self-reliance. They have outdoor stoves proportionate to their height, and they make their own meals every day, from washing and chopping vegetables to cooking. They eat their own cooked meals with such gusto you'd think they're licking the plates clean. After eating, they voluntarily clean up and even line up to wash dishes. The principal assigns tasks based on the kids' interests to foster their hands-on skills.
I was about to say it's funny because kids like to do stuff, and you have to tell kids to stop doing stuff when you don't want them to do stuff. But they'll just, if you give a kid a little bit of attention and ask them to do anything, they'll do it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I like how he said it's based on fostering what their interests are. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like a chore to them because they're like, oh, I like to cook. So they do it happily.
Right. That's when I work with kids. I always ask them, what are you good at and what do you like to do? So if you're lucky, you'll get paid doing what you like to do because you're good at it.
That is a dream.
But if you're also really good at something that you don't necessarily like to do, but you can get paid enough to do it, then you can do what you like to do by doing what you're good at doing.
Yes.
So there's 2 different ways to look at it, right?
Yes.
So I try to always let kids know that.
Yes. And this is the perfect example. It's like they say they hone in on what they like to do, so it doesn't seem like a chore.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right after meals, making baskets or knitting scarves for themselves and even using sewing machines to make clothes. They embroider, weave mats, and even make their beds. They're taught independence from a young age. The older kids can cook a meal from scratch, and the younger ones are adept at kneading dough and making pancakes, making chefs jealous. They even squeeze their own milk and make juice from scratch. From washing and cutting fruit to the final product, they do it all themselves, with teachers offering guidance. After eating and drinking, they get busy with various activities like embroidery, building walls with mud, making puzzles, drawing, and making decorations. The girls can even practice makeup and hairstyling, becoming professional hairstylists upon graduation. They never skip school because there's just too much to do. Some netizens say this is real hands-on education, unlike other kindergartens where teachers worry about kids getting hurt. Here, they face challenges head-on, with special forces-style training, jumping rope while playing basketball, climbing ropes, and building giant Ferris wheels. They learn to ride balance bikes and practice martial arts. There's no crying when dropping kids off. They run straight to class. Fighting over toys? Non-existent. Everyone's too busy with their own tasks to bother with that.
Right.
This is what childhood memories should be like. If it were your child, would you choose this kind of kindergarten?
Yes.
Definitely. See, that's kind of how I raise kids. That's how I just work with kids. What do you want to do? Let's play, and then I do whatever they want to do and what I want to do and teach them, right?
And then he did mention like how engaged they are. He was like, there's no dropping them off and they cry, they don't want to go, right? They're like, as soon as you drop out, they're running in.
Right, it looks fun though,
because
right?
it's something that they want to do, right? They look forward to it. And then imagine it becomes an occupation. Then you look forward to going to work, right? Because you're doing what you love.
I bet it's a lot better for the teachers too, I bet.
Yes.
Mortar and pestle.
Oh, okay.
Scramble it then. All the teamwork.
This forest is a magical place.
It does it between the TikToks.
一起来感受下年味。热闹的小院孩子们忙得不亦乐乎，哪有时间吵闹？
Straight labor.
都怕干不上。
Got them
吃
working
完这
hard.
菜力所能及的
Communist
送给
countries.
今天吃啥呢？来看一下。
It makes them understand, right? Their contribution. No, I mean, they understand their contribution.
蒸
That's how you
煮
build
样样可以
communist colonies,
蒸点大米饭
right?
炖些把子肉完美。82年的大碗蒸
Teach them
米
community, yeah? That's all community right
下
there.
盘棋
Yeah.
等着开饭。
But then that's how you get it, right? Because
把
then
子
they
肉
become
就
adults
给
who
大块的冲
understand
断疲惫。
the usefulness of working together and doing.
And like you said, they said what the kids want to do, right? Rather than we tell the kids what
大
they
家
have to
一起
do.
团结合作， 好香呀！妈回家直接吃饭是对的。妈妈们回家都累得头就想睡觉。
Or they either get nap time or they go to bed when they get home.
Yes, yes.
姐
All
姐
days
们，
work,
你们
work,
大学
work.
放假也要学着做做哦。
See?
一个在家不吃，一群在一起抢着吃，自己做的就是好吃，迫不及待先吃口赞。感谢大家喜欢。
Just stuff in his face.
And then you know the value of the hard work.
And then this is
Look at that.
like me and my kids, boy. Yeah. But see all these little
Oh
youngsters?
my god.
Oh,
Check out
okay.
the basketball skills
No.
of Chinese kids. These adorable kindergarten
What?
kids are causing a stir online with their unique basketball talents.
Is that
Just
real?
look at them using their
Yeah.
tiny hands to pull off
Yeah.
I've
amazing
seen all
dribbling
kinds of stuff
moves
like
and tricky
this.
maneuvers. It's truly mind-blowing. Wow, they're incredible.
Oh, this is
They
like
seamlessly
competition.
blend
Yeah,
basketball
yeah.
with their moves,
No, they
moving
just-
to the
they
rhythm
love
of the
basketball
music,
too.
jumping, spinning, dribbling like they own the court. It's not just a show, it's a perfect showcase of teamwork and cooperation.
Yeah, that's
Every
what you're
pass,
saying.
every catch shows their coordination and trust, creating stunning basketball dance scenes. Most of these kids are preschoolers, barely hitting 7 years old, yet their ball handling
Oh my
skills
gosh.
are jaw-dropping.
I mean,
In
they're
China,
tiny.
basketball is a top favorite
It's like
sport.
5 or
Many
6
families
year-olds.
start nurturing basketball interests and skills
listen.
from an early age. With such a large population, there's a wealth of talented kids. In one province alone, 86 kindergartens offer basketball training, with over 40,000 kids joining in. Nationwide, the numbers are beyond measure. While our kids are glued to phones and iPads, these little
Right.
champs have already mastered this elite
See,
skill.
they got this little
Imagine
thing
if
down.
U.S.
Just hand-eye
public schools
coordination,
adopted a similar
teamwork,
approach. What do you think would
timing.
happen?
Look at that.
Like, if we treated our kids like that and put that much attention into our kids,
Yes.
we can make America great again.
Oh my God. You did. Was it ever though?
Well, true that. For some, few. Can make it great for all.
Not for us.
Mm.
You're darker than I.
I am now. Ooh.
I know.
Goes back and
It's those
forth.
kids. That's why.
Oh, yeah,
I've been
but-
out the sun. I know. I don't think they do that anymore here in schools. Machete, right? We used to do like
Oh,
the
yeah.
newspaper, right?
Paper mache.
Paper mache.
Mache, yeah.
Right?
like
We used to
mache.
do that. Going,
I did it. Yeah, you do it on a balloon and you pop the balloon
Right,
and leaves like
and
the
then-
shell or
right.
whatever. And
like the flour and water, you put it on the newspaper and you cover it and you make something.
I don't know, like, you don't have to go to art class for that. I don't know if they do it like in classes for that.
Yeah. Or I mean, or even in art class, you know.
Well, no, I mean like you have to pay for it extra style. Not in
I said
schools don't
machete.
have art classes
I
and
said
gym
machete
classes.
because you know
much
we be
anymore.
out there with our machete, cleaning the fields. Not
I bought a machete one time thinking I was gonna cut down a bunch of Bermuda grass. When I went out there and looked at it, I was like, this is not stupid.
No.
It's like, how did I even think I could do this? I looked at it with the machete and I was like,
Yeah.
what was I thinking? Pacific used to love the stack cups.
And it sparks that coordination, right?
And just dive through it.
The things they do with food.
Imagine your cooking skills by the time you get old. You start
Right?
at 4 or 5 or whatever.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if they have a lot of chefs, top chefs, or you know.
Oh yeah, a couple of top chefs back when it first came out were Chinese and whatnot. I haven't watched it in a long time now, but I mean I don't know. But it looks like they're gonna have a lot of top chefs soon if they don't have
No,
them now.
right? No, exactly.
So what'd you think?
I think that was awesome. I think it's, you know, like they said, the differences between these kindergartners and ours, right? You know, we're focused on having them take naps and their feelings and
Phones and
other
sitting
things.
still
And,
though.
yes.
More like staying calm and being in
Right.
control. Get in line.
Yes.
Don't mess stuff up. Don't be messy.
Right.
Color in the lines. Do it my way.
They're around screaming and yelling, and you're like, calm down. Like, see, like it starts in that, right? To get them.
And that was the second time I watched the video, and I didn't catch it this time. But the first time, it said something about the parents wanting the kids to do something in the schools or whatnot. And I was thinking like, well, that's really cool. Like people say they're communists and like the government controls people in a communist society, but the parents wanted their kids to have more freedom and more schooling like this. So the communist government did that for the parents, I guess, right? If the parents made they made waves and said we want this, and the government does it, that it's more like a democracy than we sitting here saying we want some stuff, and our people being like, well, the businesses say we're not going to do it.
Yes, that's true. But like how we were saying, that's how you create the next generation of doers or people that can say something, right? You give them, like as a parent, right? You raise your kids and you let them know, like,
so here
you have to make the difference.
Right, but here we have to give them the skills as the parent, right? Where in China,
the schools,
the parents can tell the schools how to be run, and the schools will be ran that way, and then it could be done as a community rather than, because not every parent's going to be a good parent, and then even if every parent was a good parent, not every parent has the time to parent, because some parents here work 3 jobs.
Yes.
So if you ain't got the time, then you can't help that, right? Especially in this capitalist system where you got to work.
But see, like, say in their government, right, or how they allow that to happen, they understand the importance of, in order for your country, for people to be successful in the future, you have to start when they're young, right? So like I would say, like in Samoan culture, right, you invest in your kids, knowing that like they have a lot of kids, but they know that they're gonna be the future. Right. So you raise them.
Take care of the future, then the future take care of you.
Yes, exactly. And then, but here, like you're saying, like say the government doesn't want people to think that way, so they stop
individualism.
Like you can't teach this in school. Like, no, you can't do this in school because they know if you do so much of that in school, when these kids grow up, they're gonna like overthrow the government or like things like that. They take it in a bad way, so they're like, no, this is the structure. This is all you can do in the school, with the kids.
If the citizenry is too educated, they can come at the government or whatever.
Right.
If you keep them kind of docile and in a certain way, then you can keep them under control, keep them in line, right? That's what we do. We get in line, we go to work, we push the button, we stay in line rather than...
But that's why they teach them at a young age, just like, you have to stay in line, right?
And especially like you said, they ask the kids what they want to do, right? And the kids get to do what they want to do from a young age.
Yes.
So they get to use their, not options, but like imagination.
Yeah.
They get to use their imagination.
It gives their creativity
skills, and stuff.
Right?
And
It
stuff
sparks
that
it
they
at a
wanna
young
do.
age, and they continue on in that journey, right? Instead of saying like, no, this is the box you have to stay in, and this is all you can do, right? Yeah.
All right, and you'll know more about China if you keep coming back to Across the Spectrum.